Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's Buns, and welcome back to the Road to Gladiator. Today, we're doing an arena gameplay breakdown. You guys have requested for it. We're coming in hot. Today, I did some Rogue Mage Priest on ladder, and we were going up and down quite a bit today, but we ended on a great note, and more than anything, we were able to push through a little bit of a slump we went through, and at the very end, we got a lot of great games in a row. And I'm going to show you guys two games that we played during the end where we had to learn from our mistakes that we were playing today. Specifically, dealing with melee and being able to rotate our CCs sufficiently to be able to get the most out of them. Because when you're playing Rogue Mage Priest, you really need to be able to chain and have 2v3s going on for the majority of the match because Priest doesn't have that much healing. So you have to benefit from having that 2v3 situation going on. We did a great job in these clips. I'm going to show you guys how we were able to go through it and our adjustments during the game. Enjoy, guys! The comp that we were playing today was Rogue Mage Priest. And for those of you guys that haven't had an opportunity to try out this comp for yourself yet, it heavily requires that you as a team create 2v3 situations for yourself. Whether it's peeling the two DPS and getting an opportunity to go healer, or locking out the healer and the other DPS to focus your energy on killing one target. You have to get that 2v3 situation because priests cannot stand all of the damage. Their healing is just not that high and they're not super mobile. Initially, we're going into this fight looking at getting the opening on the Paladin, but we have to make an adjustment based off of where their team is standing, and we decide that we're going to open on the Monk instead to force cooldowns and get a sap onto the Paladin. So I go in, get a sap onto the Paladin, and we open with a cheap shot, and we're just trying to get as much as we can right now, cooldown-wise. I go in for a resap, and we're able to get damage onto this Monk, following up with another resap. It's important when you're playing in these games, especially with a mage, that between you and your mage, you're able to talk and be able to communicate who can get saps, who can get resheeps, and be fluid with it. Now, the Windwalker uses a lot of cooldowns there, including death, so I trinket and vanish out, and we're going to go right back onto this Windwalker with a lot of damage. So I put him into stuns, and the Paladin right now is getting away with some casts, but we're going to make him come back into line of sight, and we realize that the DK is in a great spot to swap. Don't feel like you can't swap. We immediately go into this DK, and we force him to use some of his defensives, and it's great because it gives us a great opportunity to land a kill. Now, back onto the Windwalker, which is our main target during this fight. We put him into stuns, and I'm using a lot of combo points, just trying to be as efficient as I can. And now I'm on stun DRs, and this is a little bit scary for me here because I have no trinket, and I'm caught into the Fist of Fury. We're able to slip out of it and continue landing CCs onto this Paladin. Now, I see the Karma here, and I have Cloak of Shadows available if I am going to need it to be able to take off the Karma. In this case scenario, I let my Priest drop the Holy Barrier first and realize that we're going to need the Cloak as well too to survive here. Now, the DK uses his Dragon of Sindragosa, and he has a ton of pressure on us right now, so I'm doing the best I can to peel off the Windwalker. Zips did a great job at CCing the DK, and we were able to survive that outlook. It's very important that you continue getting CC while you're keeping pressure on your kill target. In that situation, helped us live with the help of Holy Barrier as a cooldown. Now, we get a sheep onto the Holy Paladin, and we want to push in on this Windwalker, but he retreats back. So what we end up doing is taking this DK over by the box, and we're going to make a swap onto him as the Paladin's out of position. So I'm able to go in, get some stuns onto this DK, and have a good look onto him, forcing the team to come back out. And I see that my Priest gets put into an end cap, so I'm going to immediately use my evasion so we don't get chunked down here. One of the important things when you're fighting this comp, especially as RMP, is that Windwalker DK benefits a lot from being stacked on top of each other. So we as a team have to make sure that we are not super grouped, and if we are, we need to have stuns available to peel and sheeps at the ready to be able to mitigate their AoE damage. Now, we're looking at this DK and trying to get some pressure off here, but we're going to make a swap back onto this Windwalker here to give us the most benefit from our CDs. So I'm coming in, putting a kidney onto this Windwalker to take pressure off of our Priest right now, following that up with more pressure and going into a restun. Now, one thing that we realized here is that Pillar is not to our advantage, and we realized this soon enough, and we're like, hey guys, we got to get out of this position. Couchy is able to get a fear off here out of the Fist of Fury, and we're realizing that now we have an opportunity once again to go onto the Windwalker. Here, we have the Paladin in a bad spot, and we're able to get some CC onto him, landing a sheep into that, and we force the Paladin's bubble. So now at this point, we've lived through a lot considering it's Walking Dead. We're trying to do anything that we can to live this situation. So I see that we have Sheeps onto the DK, and I'm pressuring the Windwalker with stuns right now, keeping him locked up. We're doing a great job at keeping the whole team as mitigated as possible from doing damage, and I realize that the Paladin's in a pretty decent spot, so I'm going to go over there, step kidney him, set up an opportunity for my mage to go in and get a sheep onto him. Now, we force the karma here, and one of the strongest things about Windwalker DK is they have so many CDs to go through. Now, we're in a really tight situation here, and our priest is at 10% health. What we're doing is doing a great job of communicating on CCs. I end up going onto the Windwalker to stop him, and he puts some polys onto the DK, and then we're going to rotate that back onto the DK to take the pressure off of him. This was an extremely scary situation, but we're able to talk ourselves through this and get just the momentum we need to be able to live this engagement and then be able to push out and get ourselves some momentum. Once again, we found ourselves gravitating towards the tomb, and we want to get out into the middle to CC the Paladin. And this is something that we learned during the process of this game, so we're pulling out, trying to get more out into the middle, but as a priest, it's hard because we have very little mobility to deal with. Right now, we're getting a great look onto the DK, and it forces the Paladin's wings. So we have lots of pressure, and we use a Holy Barrier as well, too, to help mitigate some of this damage. Now, I have to be very careful here, because if we're stacked up for too long, we're going to take a lot of cleave damage. So I want to make sure that I am pulling out a little bit as well, too, to mitigate our team damage and be able to catch up so that they're not benefiting from the AoE pull. I'm going back in onto this DK, landing a stun, and we end up getting the DK's trinket there, which gives us an opportunity for a kill onto him, possibly. Now, Zips is looking for an opportunity to get this Paladin into Sheeps, and he is able to land it. We have a lot of pressure now onto the DK, and I'm doing as much damage as possible. Zips following it up with another polymorph, and we're able to land the kill on the DK. This took insane coordination from our team to not only make sure that we were stunning and sheeping off of DRs, but swapping targets to make sure that we can benefit from having the 2v3 situation. We barely got out of this one, but I'm so proud of us here because this is a comp that we were struggling against the entire day, and we came out ahead as a team. One thing that we wanted to get better on throughout the course of the day was landing our CCs efficiently so that we were able to chain them one after the other rather than sheep into fear into stun and then being on second DRs on all of them. We want to benefit from getting multiple saps into fears, into blind, so that we can rotate through our DRs and be able to get as much CC as possible onto this healer. Now, this game, we had a great opportunity to go on to this Ret Paladin, and he's caught out in the middle in this situation. I'm able to stun him up, and I ask my mage if he's going to need me to sap. I am able to get the sap off so that he can continue damaging, and our priest moves into position to get the fear. He trinkets this, so I'm going to put him into a half blind, and then out of the stun, I'm going to kidney off because I know that he's in a lot of trouble. Able to get the stun onto the priest here with a cheap shot, and we get huge damage rolling onto this Ret. I go for a DR stun so that we can force the bubble on the Paladin, and we are able to force the bubble. Now, immediately I see that the warrior has big cooldowns, so I take myself out of a position where I'm going to die using my Vanish and kiting back to our team because we got bubble and we got trinket. We just have to live to the next go. I'm able to land a full kidney onto this Paladin, and my mage is in position to land sheeps onto the priest. Now, the priest uses death and is able to get out of the first sheep. So it's going into a DR sheep, and I realize right now I need to be careful because we don't want to put ourselves in a spot where we're going to lose this game because we're very far ahead. Instead of chasing after the Paladin, who we got cooldowns on, the warrior was in a much better position. We swap to him, and we get grip from the priest, and we don't compromise ourselves. Now, this Ret, on the other hand, runs behind the pillar and becomes Juicy City for us to hit. Put him into a stun, in full damage onto him. We're able to kill him, and because he sacrificed his positioning and we were able to get a very efficient look in the opener, we not only forced cooldowns, but the second go on the Paladin, we were able to get the kill. This was a great game, and it's also a great opportunity to show you guys that you don't necessarily have to force kills. Let the game play out for itself, make swaps, especially as Rogue Mage, and keep your opponent on their toes. Dudes, thank you guys so much for watching the video. It was a lot of fun today to be able to come out on top as the Rogue Mage Priest, work through our synergy, and build up that 2v3 situations, rotating our DRs. Came out as a positive, which was awesome to end playing games on that today. And I felt like these would be two great examples from our games that we played today to help you guys out when you're dealing with different kinds of comps on the ladder, because especially Walking Dead, man, you see it all over the place. So trying to deal with that can be very difficult, especially with a team that lacks a lot of heals. So I thought that specifically that game would be able to help out a lot of people. And it's good for me to go back and watch that as well too, to see where we did well and where we improved on as well today too, which I thought was the best part. We made a lot of improvements, even though it took a little bit of time. Queuing today. Dudes, if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment and a like down below. I am out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video or on the live stream during the afternoon. Peace, dudes. Keep it easy, everyone. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, guys? It's Buns, and welcome back to the Road to Gladiator. Today, I had an opportunity to finally be able to play one of the classes that I was looking forward to playing from the beginning of the expansion.